What is going on, guys? Zyphox here with your boy Rio, and we're going to go ahead and start talking about the patch notes that just came out here on October 3rd, with the patch coming out tomorrow. We're just going to go down the list and pretty much explain exactly what's going on with each of the character changes and how it's going to, change the meta and all that stuff.
Yeah, this is just going to be our initial impressions on what we think, on what we just see through text. Nothing's set in stone. We're just going to look at what they put for, changelog in the notes and give our opinion on it. So, okay, let's start off with the general gameplay fixes. Many moveless corrections, I agree with that. Increased energy cost to start running stamina. This is a change I really love. I love that NRS added something to affect the running because they've seen how powerful running could be in this game, and how crazy it is. So that change I love.
Yeah, I think that it's gonna be an overall nerf to obviously those dash cancel characters, but more importantly, it's gonna stop those characters from being able to play at the mid range footsie and just kind of just run up to you and kind of more risk to it, because if you get hit out of it, you're gonna obviously lose a lot of energy.
Exactly. It's like they're adding a level or where if you do something and you commit to something, there's more risk on it, which is how it should be, That's things like that are awesome. I love seeing stuff like that.
It's also an indirect nerf to Cassie too, because a lot of her character, combos. And
Yeah,
stuff
well,
like
I mean,
that.
you could say it's pretty much a nerf to everybody. Everybody uses stamina to run or do stuff, But some characters obviously use it more, like Cassie.
Yeah,
But
imagine.
yeah, but she's such a strong character overall, with her overall tool set and her base set that I think she'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm just imagining right now being 3-4 screen and then running up back one, full combo, but then she
Yeah.
can't even combo after because she's
But
already
see,
used so
the
much
thing of
stamina.
doing that is such a powerful tactic right there, to be able to run up from full screen in a fighting game and then go to the other side of the screen and then throw out a very quick mid that can catch your opponent and clip them out of there, and then on top of that lead to a combo. And on top of that, if they happen to block that entire sequence of what you did, you're safe. That's, to me, fair. I mean, running. Okay, we shouldn't downplay. Running's still going to be ridiculous in this game. Running's still going to be good. It's just now it's slightly normalized.
Yeah, I agree. No.
And the best change that I love for so far out of general, getting hit while running now drains 50 energy. That is such an innovative and awesome idea. I can't believe they came up with something like that, because it's incredibly insane. That's going to help in so many situations where you make a read. Because right now, currently, in Mortal Kombat X, the current version right now, if you make a read and you hit or poke somebody out of it, it's whatever, People could probably still break, poke back. But now when you get hit for running, not only do you lose half your stamina bar and you got to wait longer for a breaker to come back, but now you pretty much get guaranteed stuff afterwards that you wouldn't normally... It wouldn't normally be as important beforehand.
Yeah,
So that change I love. That's my favorite change.
It's remember, you could run up or do any kind of those mix-ups to run up, get hit, but then you can still backdash out of things. Now you can't do that anymore.
Exactly. Things like that. It just adds so much more depth and so much more layers of what options people want to go for.
Word.
And this one, the increased hurt regions when you perform an air attack now activate one frame before the hit region activates. That's a really good change.
So explain that a little bit, because I'm not even understanding that completely.
Okay, basically, you know how right now when you jump in the air and you go to perform an air attack and your move will come out at the same time or before your hurt region comes out, like your hitbox?
Yeah.
Now it's where if you go to do the attack, your hurt box and hurt region are automatically extended first and foremost before your attack, or on the same frame your attack comes out. So there's kind of like a priority there. So where if you go to do an anti attack and your opponent does an attack at the same time, their hurt box will be instantly extended at that one point. So it's easier for you to anti or clip them out of there, which is a very good change in my opinion. I'm really curious to see how that pans out in actual matches.
Do you think one frame is enough though?
I can't really say that. It's stuff we need to test when the game's actually out tomorrow. But from what it sounds like, I think it's better. Just changes like that are always better. I like seeing things like that.
That's gonna help out all these defensive characters, because now that running is nerfed, now jumping in is kind of nerfed too. It's more gonna be a footsie battle mid.
Yeah, on top of how they said on the cast, how they buffed some characters down twos and some stuff. So anti-airs will probably be a bit stronger than they've been currently.
All right, now the next one.
Counter message added when a hit lands as a counterattack or punish. I like this. Because there's a lot of times when you'll be playing casuals and you'll hit somebody out of them doing something, and you're not sure if they punish or not. So you'll be like, "Hey, bro, were you blocking that? Or were you trying to mash?" You know, like what I'm trying to get at. If they're trying to.
Yeah.
So now you're able to see if you punish something or if your opponent just wasn't blocking and trying to like backdash jump or run. You know, it just adds to that layer of knowing exactly what happened at that one area and knowing what your opponent was trying to do. You know.
Yeah, I really like the change, but I was wondering also because you know they said counterattack or punish like, so just to be clear, there's no like, you know, counterattack like in Street Fighter where you hit some counter like is added plus frames or whatever the case may be. It's not like that. It's just more of like a visual change, right?
We don't know that exactly. They may have added some extra perks to counter hits, like maybe they do slightly increased damage or you get some more hits done. I don't know what it is, but from what the patch notes say right now, I think it's only a visual indication of when it says counter hit.
All right.
How
Now,
about this one? Delayed
like,
wake up will no longer activate if the block button is pressed or held while holding down.
that's an interesting change. I'm not even sure because obviously like you can still hold down or whatever. It would kind of like it seems to me like you know those awkward times when at the end of your delayed wake up like you don't know for sure if it's like ended or not,
Hmm.
and now that you can't even activate it while blocking, I wonder if you could at least
Oh, one of the things that, because you mentioned that, you know how before you would try to delay block and not sure if you did the short delay or fast delay because it's like kind of hard to tell with the block button?
yeah.
Now when you're laying on the ground, you could let go of block and know exactly when you're going to do short delay, you know? So you lay on the ground, let go of block, and you know what you're going to try and do and rise up with, you know?
Right. And I think what I was actually going for there is, you know, like at the end of the long delay, right, where it's like you don't know if you can get up yet or if you can block. Like
Yeah.
if you were to hit block button during your delay, like not before, like how like you know how to activate the long delay or the you know delayed wake up, can you
Hmm.
just press block afterwards and you'll just start blocking? I think that's how it works, right?
See, I don't know. That we're going to have to actually test it in the game. But in theory, I'm not sure. It could go either way. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's when you lay on the ground. If you touch the block button or activate it during any of the laying on the ground frames, it'll get you out of it. So whenever possible frame you're gonna get out of it, it'll happen.
Okay.
But it won't happen as in like you're gonna wake up different frames every time. I think it'll happen. You're either gonna wake up if you delay out of short delay or long delay. That's it. So those two possible outcomes. But the most important thing is this change. I think they did this change not only for that and to make it easier to get out of short delay or long delay, but so whenever you have a move that has the annoying input of down down block to do that on
Yeah.
wake up, do you know how annoying that is? You try to do that and sometimes you'll miss it or time the block one frame earlier and then transfer into short delay, long delay, wake up. It's just very annoying for a lot of characters that have that down down waking up motion or down up things like that.
Yeah, I remember I tried to pick up a Raiden, the displacer, and it was like the pitch to do is like the wake up EX teleport. You'd always just get delay, you know. So
Exactly. You go to do down up block, but you do a short delay and you just don't wake up when you need it to.
yeah, definitely. All right, how about this next change here?
You're no longer able to use specific timing to avoid recovery frames on some jump attacks which use weapons. See, that's a fix. Remember the bug where characters like Takana could jump in with their blade, jump 2, and then, I mean, no, the bug was activated by doing a jump 3, hitting your opponent, the first hit, and then making a second part of the jump 3 whiff. So whenever you do jump 2s, the follow-up, you don't really have any whiff recovery, and you can cancel when you hit the ground into attacks and stuff.
Yeah,
There were other characters that could do it also, like, Kenshi, Kung Jin, I'm probably missing another one, Cassie, I think. This fix, I think, addresses that specifically. So that's
so
a really good change.
do you think that's also like the instant jump ones too, like with some of these weapons?
I'm not sure it's that. I think it's no, I think it does have to do more with the jump and attack characters using jump and attack weapons. Like, Kung Jin, Cassie's baton, Kenshi's sword, Turkan's blade.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not exactly sure on that. We're gonna have to actually test and go into that.
All right, now this next change though, this is like the huge one. So many people have been like bitching about like forever. Reduce the victim block stun along with the attacker block recovery on many moves. For example, something like Kodo's low sword was used on the combat cast, or Johnny Cage's nut punch. Remember that?
Yeah,
Dude,
this
that's
is
such
one
a
of the
good
best
change.
changes. Easily
Yes.
one of the best because look, you go to block something, right? That's unsafe. But as a fighting game player, you have good reflexes and reactions. So you're like, I blocked this. Okay, let me punish quick. You know, it's instinct, right? But in MKX, it's you block something and then you go to react instantly, and you go to put a string like let's say for example Liu Kang 4-1-2, right? Get that fast string out to punish. But then because of the block stun, and your mind is telling you, hey man, you block something unsafe, go for the punish. You go to do 4-1-2. During the block stun, when you input 4-1-2, your 4-1 doesn't come out, and then your standing 2 comes out later, and you don't even get a punish. It's just an ugly situation that's very annoying. Like nobody likes the long block stuns.
That's
so with this change. With Kotal's low sword, you block it's like -17 or something, right?
Yeah.
-17. Right now, before it used to be -17 on block, but you gotta wait 2 hours to punish it. Now it's a -17, but you gotta recover a little bit quicker, but it's still -17, so it just keeps the flow of the match consistent,
Yeah.
Easy and smooth. That's a really good change. Like they're starting to get rid of a lot of the issues that made MKX unenjoyable in certain areas, like the block stun specifically. So that's one of the best changes.
Yeah, hell yeah. Now, this next change, unlocks no longer have additional requirements, has to be top 1 changes in the game for sure.
Yeah, that's good for everybody. When you want to unlock stuff, you don't want to go through all that. But, I mean, it's not really competitive stuff, so we're not really going to go into that. It's more like for the casual players.
Dude, that's like the best change.
I mean, yeah, if I was a casual and I was looking at these notes, I'd be like, hell yeah, now I don't have to go through all that shit. Alright, now we're getting to the juicy shit. Character-specific fixes, starting with Alien.
Jalian.
First one, while attacking with the tail, Alien will have an extended hurtbox region. I cannot give NRS enough props for this. Like this, do you remember a lot of times when players would ask for things like maybe some moves should have extra hurtbox or stuff to balance them? Because in a 2D game, you're using like these normals that go more than half screen long, and it's unlike a 3D fighter. You can't just sidestep them, right? To whiff punish, you have to actually deal with the moves out there.
Yeah.
And there's basically pseudo-invincible fireball attacks that you can't do anything about, but just hold that shit because there's nothing to clip or hit. And a lot of people said, oh, NRS isn't going to change things like that. It's too late, bro. Wait for the next game. They're not going to take the game that serious and change it. Well, they're all wrong. NRS actually went in and did that for some characters like Alien. They gave his tail a hurtbox when he's doing attacks. That's amazing.
Word.
That does nothing but speak so highly on their future games and products that are going to have this kind of quality into them,
Yeah, man, that's like another thing that I wanted to mention, and it's like this is setting up to like make Injustice 2 like even better of a game. Like
exactly,
we thought
everything that's good or great about MKX is going to be in future games, but even better and improved. And on top of that, even further additions. So this is amazing. Like I couldn't ask for better patch notes that I've been seeing right now.
Now, I had a question about the tail, like, extended hurt region. Obviously, like, if he tries to go through the clone, he gets frozen, like, in a GIF.
Yeah, as he should.
But can you now, like, down 3 it? Does it have, like, priority? That's the big question coming tomorrow that I'm going to test first thing. Is, like, if he has a tail, can I down 3 it? Can I punish it, like, in mid-travel?
Yeah, or see the tail, like, let's say you're walking back, he does a run-up back 3, but he misjudges the distance, and the tail whips right in front of you, right? Can you uppercut that shit for the win, right, for the round?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, see, for that, things like that are hype, but we need to test to see if that's possible, because we don't know actually how much extension they gave the hurtbox on the tail. It could be only, towards the center, not really to the tip, That's stuff we need to test. But regardless, that's one of the most amazing changes. I love changes like that. Just adds more depth to the game,
Yeah, man.
Next one, fixed an issue with aliens ducking hurt regions, not resizing properly. This one everyone saw coming. It should have been fixed. There's no reason aliens should randomly duck or transition from duck to stand blocking and have random moves whiff or wonky hurtbox issues happen. So that one's good. Towards back kick, which is towards 4, now has 19 frames startup up from 17. So they made his overheads a few frames slower. It's a welcome change. I like it. He'll still have very strong 50-50s, very good range. I think alien's still going to be good with that change.
Yeah, I agree. It's a quality of life because everyone's overheads are pretty much getting nerfed at this point that leads in the combo, so.
Exactly. Next change, adjusted decreased hurt regions during active frames jumping attacks. That's, again, a very good one. We pretty much touched on that subject. Those are all welcome. We love all those.
Now, I wonder if it's an actual, like, additional, hurt region during active frames.
It could be for Alien because of how powerful his jump attacks are. I mean, his jump 4 is one of the best jumping in the game. You can hit somebody with that from almost half screen away. It's very powerful.
I just want to see the wonkiness of, like doing, like, a 3/4 screen jump in and then, like, getting hit out of the air from, like, that far range.
Yeah,
I
like
wonder if that's
standing one out
possible.
of it into like a special convert or some crazy hype thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be hype.
Tail
How
Slam
about
no longer has armor. One of the best changes. Armor launchers are dumb. They're stupid unless they're done properly. A lot of them in MKX unfortunately were not. So them adding this new layer of getting rid of a lot of the dumb armor launchers that were just these all-purpose one-bar X-ray pseudo attacks is one of the best things they could have done for this game. It keeps it interesting and it makes it from becoming this stale get one bar and just do whatever you want into trying armor. You know?
yeah, definitely. And now, does Tail Slam actually still like launch? Just it doesn't have armor, right?
Yeah, I think it just launches. Just it's no longer an armor launcher. It's still a launcher. So if he has 50/50s, you know, which Alien does, he could do strings into his armor launcher. I mean, his launcher attack. So he's just saying armor launcher because Alien.
Yeah.
So he can still mix you up in strings.
How about this next change here?
Tail flip and tail slam now 20 frames start. Basically his overhead. 2 more frames from his flip. His tail flip.
Oh, so his tail flip was 18
Yep.
frames.
They also made his tail flip more unsafe on block. Next change is -10 on block, which is good. He shouldn't be that safe for everything. He should be punishable. A character that has strong mix-ups and can mix up from strings or ranges with all that, they should be punishable. I know he was already one of the more unsafe characters in the game, but he should just be more unsafe consistently through the cast. Not he's unsafe, bro, against these certain characters. You know, he should be unsafe in general. Xeno Strike is now plus 14 on hit from plus 22. That's his EX pound. His EX pounds.
Just
Which,
less.
I mean his normal pounds, which is he has less knockdown advantage now. He can't just do whatever he wants now.
Yeah, that extra 8 frames of recovery is definitely going to help, especially trying to back dash out of like anything like a run up forward 1 or whatever the case may be. So,
Yep. Same thing with tail snag. Pretty much same concept, just different move.
so
Adjusted the hit region of tail snag and tail grab to hit more consistent. Okay, that's more of a fix because there were times when his moves would whiff randomly in the tail. I know I uploaded a few videos of that. Like if Liu Kang would do his forward 4 string and you did EX low tail with Alien, it would whiff for some reason because Liu Kang was
Yeah.
like lifting his leg up. So things like that are good. Acidic now adjusted the air reaction of acid blood to prevent an airborne opponent from being OTG juggled during it. That's smart. I know there were a few exploits where Alien could get like massive damage off that.
weird. I think we skipped one. Fix a bug that could allow Alien to cancel out a missed recovery of a jump attack. In a
Oh yeah,
special.
that was the bug that we touched on way earlier, like in the first general system bugs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think they just listed that for every character that had it.
Okay.
Next one is acid blood. Now self inflicts 3 damage, up from 1. That I like that change. That acid move is very powerful. So having it require more resource for Alien in the form of health is a very good change. I like it.
So the regular one, Acid Blood, does 3 damage, and the erosive one does 3 damage as well. So they're both the same, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now for Takeda, interesting. They kind of redesigned him a bit. He no longer has his armor launcher, which is, you know, everyone was seeing that one go. But his chop now has 2 hits of armor, which is Alien's only move out of his entire other variations that has 2 hits of armor. So now there's a reason to choose Tarkatan.
Yeah, that's a good little quality of life change for Tarkatan. They definitely, you know, with the later changes that we're going to come up on, they kind of really retouched how Tarkatan works. So this one is definitely a good
See,
quality.
look, they're adding things to make you want to choose a variation over other ones. There shouldn't be any variations that give you all these all-purpose tools to fight anything, you know? Those characters are what we call broken, which no one wants.
Weird.
Next change is, this one is probably one of the best ones I've seen. Tarkatan Rush can no longer be delayed. Which means now they're going to actually be like Rekkas. You do them, you got to do them, and commit to it. So I guess they're not really like Rekkas like other games since you can't really delay them like crazy. But now you could do them, but they're like strings, you know, like parts of a string.
Yeah.
So you could say that Alien, off any of his normals or strings, he can add another string on top of that, which is his Tarkatan string. So he's either going to have to do 2-1-2, 2-1, 2-1-3, you know, just do like strings and commit to them. Not just, you know, am I going to delay it, bro? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do this for a gap, no gap, +1 late? All that endless mix-ups.
Yeah.
But if he has EX for a bar, he turns his Rekkas into the super ridiculous MK version of Rekkas, where he can delay them, gets all his variable frame data changed. So many mind games and mix-ups with that. So that's a very good redesign. I love that.
I really like that change too, because now think about it. All the armor launchers, that would indirectly buff Alien like supremely if you could do it without a bar.
Do you know how insane a character like Alien would be if they didn't touch his Rekkas, but nerfed the armor in general across the cast to lessen armor launchers? Do you think he'd care if he's doing all this delayed pressure and you hit him with like a 15% armor attack? He wouldn't care.
No.
He's building so much meter and getting so much mileage off that move. So that's such a good change. Like, NRS actually really thought that out. That's really smart.
Alright, and then we actually skipped over a Conjurer buff, or fix, I mean. It says fix an issue, which could cause drone drop to hit multiple times on the same frame.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember somebody posted a video of them doing a Leatherface Pretty Lady EX Chainsaw for full screen, and Conjurer did his drone drop, and it hit like two times in the same one or something. It did like 20% instantly.
That's funny.
So yeah, that's a good buff fix.
All right, so where do you think Alien is gonna stand now? Like in terms
he seems like still a very strong character. Because he still has good 50-50s, good footsies, good normals.
He's just more fair now.
Yeah, he's just more fair. I think he's still good.
All right, let's move on to Baraicho now.
This one's gonna be interesting. So they helped us forward and backdash, which again, that's fine. He kind of needed something, some kind of mobility. They helped us forward and backdash. They fixed a bug where the opponent could block after Far Cloud, fit in the same frame. Everyone saw that coming, because I know there were a bunch of videos on that. They gave a bunch of his armor attacks 2 hits of armor, which is good.
So the monkey flips has 2 hits of armor now.
Bump and dump and fist flurry. Those are 2 other armor attacks. So he's got like a lot of 2 armor attacks. So he's gonna be kind of like tanky up close. Like if he wants to get out of shit, he's getting out of shit.
Yeah, weird. I wonder how that affect. Like, I wonder if he could still break the armor with like armor. Like for example, Liu Kang back 1-2, such a good move. I don't think you could break it, but unless you cancel the back 1, because it is too fast hitting moves, and then cancel that into armor, like down back 2 or something like that.
Yeah, you could do like back 1, down back 2 to armor break. Yeah, there's gonna be a whole bunch of new ways to break armor, but that's only going for the 2 hit of armor attacks. So there's still gonna be a lot of 1 hitting armor attacks.
Yeah, exactly. Now, adjust the hit region of tumble kicks and monkey flips to hit more consistent.
Yeah, that one was needed. There were times where you would hit people like Melina crouching with monkey flips, and the second hit would whiff for no reason. So that's a fix.
Awesome. Now, this is the character-specific variation ones here. Drag up Fire Spirit and Fire Breath now destroy most incoming basic projectiles.
That's good. It gives him a way to get around zoning without being too stupid, like giving him something too exploitable. This makes it so in some matchups where characters are just sitting full screen throwing stuff, where Baraka doesn't really have a way to build meter, he could use that to build meter.
I wonder if you gain meter for doing the move and then absorbing the projectile like separately. Something we're gonna have to test tomorrow.
Yeah, not sure about that.
Alright. Now, fixed a bug where Up Breath could trade with Shinnok's Necromancer Summon Fiend from far away.
I wasn't aware of this bug. Must have been something wonky. But it's good that they fixed it.
Yeah, it's definitely like like the playtest
yeah, exactly. See, that's things that... Yeah, exactly. A Fire Spit now has 5 frames recovery. That means you can use it better to, absorb projectiles with the same move.
Oh, and it works better as an anti right now, too, because just in case you did whiff
it. Exactly. They made it quicker. It could probably work better now. See, that's a lot of things that we need to test. His Spinning Hammer now has 2 hits of armor. It's another armor attack. Only in Drunken Master. Spinning Cane and Spin and Slam now recover 10 frames faster. That's his version of down back 1 in Bartitsu. So he has that. Pretty much same thing as Dragonfire, just different.
I remember, Baraicho players, when they saw the GIF, like, whoa, I mean, that move really doesn't recover that fast, but there you go. 10 frames faster for you.
Exactly, and it absorbs projectiles, so you could use it in the same way that Dragonfire can use his.
Okay.
And then the rest of the changes are they gave him more 2-hitting armor on specifically Bartitsu, and Baraicho can now perform the Code Brutality while using this variation. I didn't even know that. See, that's just things that testers don't get enough praise for, finding bugs like that. Alright, so I don't think we're going to be able to go through every character because this has already been like almost half hour and we've just done 2 characters.
Really? It's only been half hour?
Yeah, it's been a half hour and only done 2 characters. So maybe we should pick and choose to see what characters to go through, like maybe some of the dramatic characters or the characters that a lot of people were looking forward to seeing changes to.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we can like speed through some of these changes too. Like for example, Cassie towards forward kick, which is
Yeah, we could.
forward
Okay,
kick.
yeah. Let's just instead of picking and going through every little thing because it'll take way too long. It'll be like hours. Let's just give our very quick impression on Cassie. So, Cassie, this is what she got. 4-3 now 20 frame startup down from 15. Her overhead slower. Her flip move now has 45 missed recovery frames, so it's more punishable on whiff now. And Hollywood Brawler and Spec Ops, I think they're either misplacing notes or nothing was put from them. So she's still gonna be good in my opinion. Her overhead's a little bit slower, but she's still gonna have ways to make you want to block low and then condition you and then try to open you up with that. So to me, she's still a very good character.
All right, now D'Vorah.
D'Vorah's an interesting one. Okay, so there's a lot of bug puddle fixes. They made her spawning puddle plus 12 on blocks instead of plus 22 and has reduced pushback, which means now she doesn't get gelling 50-50s afterwards, but she gets gelling pressure afterwards, just 4-1 still. So that's a good trade-off. 12 frame mid after plus 12 attack.
Yeah, the big thing was being plus 22 and then being able to do her forward
Yeah,
two.
you pretty much got a free 50-50 attempt, which is very abusable in the corner.
But she still gets even more. She still gets plus 27 on EX puddle, so it might be.
Yeah, so that'll give people a reason to use EX puddle now. Use EX puddle if you want to go for the free 50-50 attempt. If they block it.
But
they
now
got rid of her 4-2 overhead, which, in my opinion, people are going to freak out about this, but the thing about 4-2, which made it so crazy, was not only was it such a great neutral tool, covered the air distance too, but it also set up her 50-50 games on top of everything it already did. It was like one of the best normals in the game. On top of her already having great normals like 4-1. So them getting rid of that overhead isn't really a big deal. She still has a 4-3 launching overhead, so it's not crazy.
Alright. Now, increase the hit advantage and cancel advantage of forward kick?
Forward kick is what? You mean forward 2?
That's forward 3. No, that's forward 3. Increase the hit advantage and cancel advantage of forward 3.
Oh, okay. I think they made it so if you cancel that now, you can be safe. So maybe they gave her the safe 50-50s with canceling for Swarm Queen because now has better cancel advantage.
Wait a minute. So you could always cancel off of her forward 3?
Yeah, you could do 4-3 and then, a Swarm Queen bug and then cancel out of that. I think they made it so, you know how right now D'Vorah can do 4-2-2 cancel into combo overhead?
Yeah.
I'm not sure or how tight it is right now to do 4-3 overhead cancel to that. Maybe you can't. Maybe it's too hard. So maybe they increase the cancel advantage on that to make that easier and make it better in block or something. So pretty much D'Vorah is kind of the same character overall, just a bit more fair and redesigned a bit. So it's pretty much the same. Venomous does have the replaced bug spray enhanced with a new attack called Bug Burst, which is a very fast and safe armor attack.
So she can't do all those shenanigans where she's just like spraying you on block and all that anymore.
She can with normal Venomous, but not EX. EX is now no longer a pseudo safe hard to punish armor attack. Well, actually, no, never had armor, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so they kind of they just remade the EX attack to make it different. They remade it instead of it being a restand pressure starter on block that was kind of hard to punish depending on who you were playing against and the character they used. Because with all the mind games with delaying or doing it fast or not. To now making it just a very fast get the hell off me armor move to make you have a reason to choose that variation.
Okay, but let's talk about the Swarm Queen changes too. That's over here: Vortex Swarm and Infestation. Now, I'm not too familiar with like D'Vorah, but what are those moves?
Vortex Swarm is when she does the puddle. It's just a different name because it's Swarm Queen specific, rather than the other two, which are only in her other two variations.
Oh, so they even nerfed her even more.
Yeah, well, see, that's a fair nerf because Swarm Queen already has insane amounts of block advantage, staggers, safety, off 50-50s and such, So on top of that, they got rid of a lot of the plus advantage off her puddle and stuff. She still advantage off them, just not as much as to get, another loops of strings or whatnot.
That's a really interesting change. But it's really smart because if there was even more plus without armored launchers...
Exactly. See... That's the thing NRS thinks about while doing something. That's why some people look at this and be like, man, why'd they do that? Because they're thinking in their head current version of MKX. They're not thinking about all the changes that have happened,
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's going to be a fair change. We're going to have to see, it's a wonder that they changed it that much, considering that, a lot of people...
She'll still be very strong.
I think so as well.
All right, so let's do like two more characters. Okay, let's do Ermac, just because he's kind of like the hot topic right now on Twitter. Ermac. Lost his EX teleport armor on Wake Up, which is fair. No more, armor launchers in whether they're a neutral tool or Wake Up, unless you're a certain character like Unbreakable, which is, again, NRS. The way that they let Unbreakable have his 1-bar armor launcher is a smart idea. Because they didn't really have to change him too crazy, aside from the parry changes. They let him have that 1-bar armor attack if he has his aura up, which is, again, a very powerful tool now. Because almost nobody in the game has 1-bar armor launchers. So that Ermac change is fine.
Alright.
His overhead now, forward 4, is now 16 frames from 12. I mean, it's a slight nerf, but it's still going to be... He's still going to be an insane 50-50 character. Probably one of the best 50-50 characters still. No one's going to react to 16 frames. It has good range. He's still going to be a very powerful 50-50 character. But it's better than nothing,
Yeah, exactly. Like, Erron Black's overhead was 16 frames before patch, so people were still getting hit by
Yeah,
that.
Erron Black, they changed Erron Black's overhead to, what is it? 22 now?
23. So,
Sorry, so they changed Erron Black's overhead to 23 frames. Which, again, if you think about it, I think that's fine, man. I know Erron Black players would be like, what are you talking about? Bro, we can't use our overhead. But you still can. It's still a footsie tool. Erron Black still uses overhead. It has far range, 23 frames. You probably don't have to set it up more. But the thing is, think about it. Okay, now that they made Erron Black up slower on his overhead, he's still got amazing neutral and amazing footsies in Gunslinger, okay? He's still got great safety in Marksman. And now on top of that, Marksman is going to be a little bit better in neutral because you don't have to worry about all these armor attacks going through his walkback shots, the 3 pellet shot move. So that'll slightly help that variation. But the thing about Outlaw, which got the biggest buff in my opinion, which is being underlooked right now, is Sand Throw, his Pocket Sand. No longer has armor on it. It's no longer an armor launcher, but it's -5 on block now, which means completely safe. So Erron Black can make anything he does in Outlaw 100% safe. He can make a bunch of stuff, jail into sand, be completely safe, build meter. So he could do things like spam his overhead string, do his low strings, do whatever he wants to, and do his sand toss to make anything safe.
And it also has pushback too.
Yeah. So he's using that to build meter, and then he's gonna have this meter to do a bunch of moves into EX Sand Grenade to be plus. He's got all these tick throw setups. He's still good. I think they kind of remade him a bit. He's different now for sure, but he's still gonna be a very very good character, I think. Anyway, back to Ermac, because we kind of just jumped to Erron Black.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Ermac, one of the changes I find interesting is his Up Soul Blast. I mean, not that one. His... Where is it?
It's the Air Soul Blast.
Air Soul Blast, yeah. Okay, Air Soul Blast. Reduce the block stun by 10 frames and reduce the pushback.
So currently, right now, it's plus, what?
Right now, it's if you do it instant, you're able to make it +5, +6, or whatever. So I'm not sure if it means reduce the block stun by meaning you guys both recover quicker, or they made it 10 frames more negative. They made it 10 frames more negative. That's a good change because no more safe, 50-50s, right? They nerfed his overhead, made it a little bit slower, even though it's still probably the best overhead in the game. It's forward 4. But he could still use his instant air blast, to have these safe pseudo overheads that loop into more pressure.
Yeah.
And if that's true, that if they made it more negative 10 frames, hopefully the EX one also, because if he does instant air EX Soul Blast, he's ridiculous plus. He's +15, +16, double digit plus. And then he gets another 50-50. So in the corner, you could do something like back 1-2, EX overhead, you block the 50-50, and then you gotta block another 50-50. So we'll see what happens. Mistake, reduce the pushback on Levitate, which is his EX push. Which means it doesn't push you back that far. It's still safe though. And they fixed the bug where he can't do the meter drain health glitch. And they gave him more damage scaling overall, some variations.
I think so overall. What do you think about Ermac?
Man, in my opinion, I don't think he got nerfed enough. I think he's still borderline retarded. He's still got the best 50-50s in the game. He's still ridiculous safe. Such a good neutral. Probably one of the best in the game. Probably, if not the best neutral character now. Amazing anti-airs. Good damage. Can't really say for sure until we see how everything plays out, but I think Ermac is one of the characters that should have been normalized like all the other top tiers, like Sonya, Molino, Kano, whatever, those top tier, super top characters. But he didn't really get normalized that much. He did get normalized, but not really. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know, I feel like they didn't make his overhead slow enough, or they should have made his EX push unsafe. Because he already has a safe armor attack. EX down back 2. Does he really need a almost half screen safe EX push that has the hitbox the size of Jupiter, drains meter, gives a hard knockdown on hit? People want to say that the move's just for defense, bro, but it's really not. If you watch any good Ermac player play, then they'll say use Mystic. Whenever they hit you with a EX push and Mystic, they get free run-up offense because Mystic's EX push is a hard knockdown, and it's very plus on hit. So he gets free offense anytime you get hit by that, and they use it in a very offensive manner. Like, they'll do stagger strings, they'll do like 4-3, 4-3, and then random EX push if you try to move. Like, they use it very offensively, more so than defense. It's like an all-purpose move that does everything.
Yeah,
but
you're
anyway,
right about that.
Yeah.
I think that if they would have just made it so it's not a hard knockdown, you could instantly techable.
Yeah, exactly. Or that. Like, he gets so much off the EX push, it's safe, drains meter, gets health, gets free offense afterwards. Like, I don't know, man. I think he's gonna be one of the best characters in the game. He already was. He already was one of the best characters in the game. I think he's just gonna be better now.
Should I answer? Slayer's calling me.
No, just do it after. Let's just finish this. Let's do one more character.
All right. You can go. Like, let me just talk to him real quick. Hold on.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna do one more character. Let's see. Who's another dramatic character? We covered Ermac. We covered Alien. Let's see here. Oh, Sonya. Sonya, of course. Sonya's... Gotta talk about Sonya. Okay, so Sonya. They made her back 19 frames, start up from 12. I like this change. She's still gonna be a very strong mix-up character. You're still gonna have to guess overhead to low. It may not be as strong. It may not be her main go-to move in every single situation, whether it be get hit by down 1. Okay, now I gotta guess back 1 to down, or back 3. Block a jump in. Now I gotta guess jailing back 1 or back 3. Like, it's not going to be her every single time. But a 19 frame overhead's still good. They made her back 4, now 16 frame startup, down from 14. Okay, that's to make the gap consistent in that string, so there's always a gap and it's not random. Leg slam now has 2 hits of armor, pretty good, so now Sonya's going to be one of the characters that gets out of a lot of shit. Universal tool. Her demo, they adjusted the hit regions on Bacon Wake and now has 5 additional recovery frames. Okay, that's good. It won't be as safe mid-screen. It's pretty much an invincible launching attack in the corner.
Are you
talking about Sonya right now? Yeah. The last character I'm going to do is Sonya, and I'm going to wrap it up.
Alright.
So, the interesting change of demo is she's still going to have very powerful grenades, because, it's a resource. Grenades are still going to be very strong, but now she can't keep doing stun grenade over and over and over and get free reloads, more stun grenades, more Oki, armor break setups. Now she's only going to do 1 stun grenade, 1 of each grenade, so 1 stun, 1 frag grenade. She's still going to get around the same amount of damage. Her damage will still be good. She's still going to have the very powerful tool of grenades. Like, if you try to hit her arm out, she could blow them up, stun you afterwards. She could do, like, back 1 overhead, you block it. Well, guess what? I threw a grenade. Now I got to guess the whole grenade situation. Am I going to delay it? You have to block another 50-50. Am I going to jump? Am I going to stagger? Am I going to do EX grenades, grab you, full combo? So... I think Demo's still good. I think people are being way too dramatic of how she fell off and people like aren't going to do good with her anymore or whatever. She's still a very strong character, in my opinion.
I think the biggest change though was her overhead, because now she's going to have to like go for more lows because her overhead's going to have that gap. Or even if they're going for back 1 grenade, you can still backdash and.
She's got great lows though. She's got back 3 low string, which you can make safe. She's got her down 3 poke, one of the better low pokes in the game, which is low. She's got a lot of good stagger strings, 1-1, 1-2-1, like all these are plus. Like, she's gonna have a lot of ways to make you kind of want to block something. So she'll still be good. She'll definitely be a good character, and she has dive kick on top of that. 2 hitting leg grab, probably if not the best X-ray in the game, one of the strongest X-rays. Very strong run speed, like top 5 run in the game. So.
Yeah, you're right. I think we should add like what? Because let's just go through the top tier real quick, because like Takeda has so many changes that we should like.
Yeah, true. Okay, let's just do Takeda one more because I have to get ready to go in a bit.
All right.
So let's just do Takeda. No, I'll end it.
Combo damage scaling adjustments and increases. So what is increases?
That probably means overall slight damage normalizations across the board. You know how he was doing like, I don't know, Ronin like 50-60% with 3 bars with EX Fist over and over?
Yeah.
Probably to adjust that.
But what are the increases though? Wouldn't it be decreases? That's a weird wording right
No,
there.
scaling damage increase.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So the scaling. All right.
Oh, another interesting is Takeda's 4-1-2 2+4. You know, the full string, which everybody was complaining about. It's now
Yeah.
24 -24 in block instead of -21. Now I'm gonna make this claim, and I can't really test it. I'm gonna make this claim, and we can't really say for sure until we get our hands on the patch tomorrow. But this could be to make a gap in the up close kunai in that last hit, maybe, because they reduced the block advantage from -24.
But
I
wouldn't
could
that
be wrong
canceled
here,
then?
but
We'll
yeah,
see.
you're right. But maybe the block stun is combined with the cancel advantage kind of makes you recover a little bit quick. I don't know. Just a random idea I'm throwing out. Otherwise, that's kind of a random nerf, don't you think?
Yeah.
Or it's mainly in there for Ronin, because I know Ronin, if you do the full string cancel, he's like Mega Plus with the Blade Recall.
Yeah.
Or if you do the full string and Blade Drop, he's like +1 or +2, so it's probably to address that.
All right. Now, Tornado Strike no longer has armor. It was an armored launcher beforehand. So you can still use it for launch. You can catch
It's
people
still
off
an
guard
armor
anytime,
full screen going air attack, dude. Like, it's still going to be good.
Yeah. And then Fist Whirlwind now has 2 hits of armor and no longer automatically launches. So
That's
that's
good.
actually
They made his defense better. It's kind of redesigned. They made his defense better, but the payout less. Now you have to meter burn again to get a combo.
okay. And now this Tri Kunai has 10 less block frames and reduced pushback.
Okay, so before it was like, what? It said +16 in frame data, so now it's like +6, probably. And less pushback means you may not be forced to block the second kunai explosion, which would sometimes make him even extra plus. Because you know how the first kunai explosion pushes you to block the second explosion, and then you're like just stuck there and you gotta block run up forward 1-2 again?
Yeah.
So hopefully it addresses that issue. They made his overhead slower by 1 frame, which is okay. Not that much of a big deal, pretty much the same. Back 3.
Your right face.
Wait, is back forward kick?
No, it's towards back kick.
Oh, toward 4.
That's forward 4 plus 4
Okay,
block.
that's his big leg. Instead of being +9, it's +4.
Yeah, before you can have this insane loop that I was doing with like, forward 1-2, 2+4 EX kunai. Then I would do the big leg +9,
Yeah.
hold this forward 1.
The mix-up was, am I gonna big leg and mid, or big leg and big leg, or big leg and mid, or big leg, big leg, big leg? Like, it was just like continuous.
Big leg
kinda
overhead.
Yeah.
It was just dumb mix up that not a lot of Takedas I saw used, but I know the smart Takeda players are using it for sure.
So, okay, so we covered that. Shiryu Teleport EX no longer has armor. We saw that coming. Whip Flurry now has 2 hits of armor. Can no longer army launches. Yeah, that's okay. So Lasher got those armor generic nerfs. No more launching armor.
Yep.
That's all fair.
Whip flip, like the whip flip no longer armors. Can you okay, so you could enhance the flurry to at least launch. Okay, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
so that's fine. You still got an armor launch. I mean, armor attack is hard to punish.
Okay, now Ronin actually his back 2 is slower. I didn't think they changed that, but they actually
20 frames
did.
now.
That's it's an interesting change, and it's gonna be just like
It's still one of the fast overheads if you consider the new game, the new MKX. It's one of the fast overheads still.
Yeah. Adjusted the hit region of back 1.
They probably lessened the hitbox slightly or made it not as overpowering in certain situations.
Yeah, definitely. Back 1 in a corner was stupid. Now that it's -2 on block instead of down, negative
Yeah,
neutral.
and they made his back 1-1 string now -2 instead of 0. That was very strong for a lot of characters in certain situations at corner. Like, it just shut down so many options. Ronin could abuse that so badly in certain characters. It was very suffocating.
Yeah.
Blade Summon no longer has armor, which means no more armor launcher in that.
And then the 5 additional recovery frames.
Oh, that one's awesome. Because you know how Ronin's like super plus?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal him being super plus because, characters like Liu, D'Vorah, Cage, they're all that. But the thing that separates them from Ronin is Ronin doesn't need stamina or any of that. He just needs Call Blade mind games. So he could, after you break, he could run up to you, do a string, throw a blade on the ground, check you with a down one, then you gotta block a bunch of pressure, So I think these are all good nerfs at the top tiers.
Yeah, Takeda seems a lot more fair now, especially in
Yeah,
context.
like him, D'Vorah, Alien right now, just going through them, they're still strong characters. Like, NRS isn't trying to kill them or ruin them. They still have their strong tools intact. They're just made a bit more fair. Ermac is the questionable one. I think he's still ridiculous. But we'll see how it plays out.
Now,
Anyway, so I'm going to wrap it all up for now. Anything else you want to say?
do you have any other specific little changes you wanted to say before we left? I have one. And
Yeah, go ahead.
Johnny Cage A-list added 5 frames before a dash cancel is active if a move is charged during an opponent's block stun.
Oh, that's great. It'll still be good though. Like think about it. Plus 17, 4/3 shadow kick cancel. That means it's gonna be plus 12. Like who cares? He's still gonna be ridiculous offense. You're not gonna poke out. You're not gonna have to use an armor attack. And with armor, with there being less armor launchers across the board, it's pretty much like an even playing ground almost.
Yeah,
Like it's
you're
fair
right.
for the most part.
You're right. You're right. But then some of those other cancels, like what is it, like
Well,
1, 2?
Dragonfire's got slightly toned down by 3 frames. D'Vorah's, I don't know if they did. I didn't really see that. D'Vorah's probably has the same, but she lost her ridiculous Swarm Puddle launcher. That was plus. So,
Yeah, I think Liu Kang out of all the cancel characters received like the least amount of nerfs in terms
Liu
of
Kang was
canceling.
ridiculous, by the way, dude. Like,
Yeah, he was.
7 frame
He
down
was.
one with his tool set. He
Yeah,
has so
now
many
he
good
has-
stack. Not even talking about the pluses or anything. Just his normal tools, like just back one, two. His strings, all that without even using anything but just staggers and mind games. And now it's down 1. He's gonna be so good.
Yeah, and
Even
then
though
you
he
can still
was already good.
you can still jail forward 2 and 3 into the forward 4. I think.
Yeah,
Or-
because it used to be plus 15. Now it's minus 30 with the nerfs. Now it's plus 12 on block.
So
You're
you'll
gonna have
still
to
be able to
be-
end. Yeah,
You're gonna have to be on point.
Your pressure afterwards is gonna have to end in something like 1-1-1 or something.
Yeah, and he's got a
plus.
safe armor on top of that. 2 armor, flying kick to get through zoning. Lu's gonna be really good.
The one change though, man, that I thought that NRS was gonna let it slip, was gonna leave EX windmill punches to have armor. That would have been like
No.
he
Yeah.
would have the only real like
Get
armor
out of here,
launcher in the
dude.
corner, 50-60%
I know,
combo.
I know it's smart, man. They knew Flame Fist was stupid, man. You nerf that armor, that move had to go. So it's still gonna be good for extending combos and getting big combos in the corner off strings, but as far as just throwing it out defensively or neutral to get a giant combo with 30% punish mid screen, those days are gone.
Or
Alright, so
So-
anyway, that's
Overall
pretty
patch
much it for our
feelings.
opinion. Yeah, expect a bigger podcast with this, more in depth with the rest of the Yomi guys, which will happen hopefully sometime this week. Stay tuned for that, guys. Thanks for
Word.
watching the video, and thanks for sharing your opinions, Zyphox.
no problem, man. I'd be more than happy to do it again. This come when we get all the Yomi boys on. You should follow us on Twitter at yomigaming.com and obviously Yomi Gaming YouTube channel and Twitch. All right, guys.
Yep, peace out, everybody.